Hello everyone, we start off with Unit 2 Operators in C Programming. So we go strictly as per the syllabus over here. So when it comes to operators in C, now this is a picture taken from an online image from Geeks for Geeks. So basically we have our operators divided into three categories. One is the unary, second is the binary, and then third is the ternary. Now we call this unary because it deals with only one operand. So you realize that it is x plus plus or variable plus plus, or for example if you take minus minus, it is variable minus minus. So variable is only one operand over there, therefore it deals with just one operand, so you call it unary operator. Now come here, from here to here, these are the binary operators, because when you use the single plus sign, you say a plus b. So a and b are variables here, two of them, so therefore it is a binary operator. And ternary operator, because we are working on three operands. When we solve this, we will come to know why it is called as a ternary operator. Basically you only need to know that unary because it deals with one operand, binary because it deals with two operands, and ternary because it deals with three operands. Under unary you have the increment and decrement. Under binary you have the arithmetic, the relational, the logical, the bitwise, and the assignment. And under the ternary you have the three-way operator or the conditional operator. Now when you come to arithmetic operators, the arithmetic operators are those that help you perform any arithmetic operation like plus, minus, multiplication. The forward slash is the division, and the division only will give us the quotient right now. And the percentage sign, which is called as the modulus operator, will give us the remainder only. After the division is performed, whatever is the remainder, that will be coming out over here. So this is for addition, this is for subtraction, this is for multiplication, this is for the quotient, and this is for the remainder. Clear? Alright. So if you try and do this example, now again this example is a screenshot of what was there online, just trying to put it in one place. So this is going to be the solution. Now move to relational. Now the previous relational operators are used when you're trying to check a relationship between two operands. If the relationship is true, then it will return 1. If the relation is false, it will return 0. So the different relational operators are equal, equal to, greater than, less than, not equal to, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. The examples are given over here if you want to try them and see what the answers come. It is either evaluated as 0 or 1 unless you tweak it to something that you wanted to give you. So this is a code which explains the output performed for a variable a5, b5, and c10. The different relational operations are performed here and the output is obtained. Answers are here. A logical operator. A logical operator is basically used when you are writing an expression to check whether a condition will turn out to be true or whether it will turn out to be false. Now a logical AND, suppose you say that he has to buy apple and he has to buy banana. So you can let him come in the house only if he buys apple and banana both. So in that case you have to say buys apple and buys banana. So both the conditions need to be true. So if both the conditions are true, then only can the person enter the house. The second case can be that logical OR. So two pipe operators, two standing sticks or two pipe operators. A logical OR, any one can be true. He buys apples or he buys bananas, then he comes into the house. So either he buys apples or he buys bananas, one of them. Okay, and then is a logical not. So it shouldn't be, the condition should not be true. So you say not with this kind of a symbol, you negate it. So here are some conditions, some examples, and then some results. You may try it out. Now bitwise operator. Now this is usually taking place in the ALU, the arithmetic logical unit of your system, and it performs all the operations wherein the data is transformed into bits, zeros or ones. So bitwise operators are different: a bitwise AND, single AND, bitwise OR, a single pipe operator, bitwise XOR, the capital, the ulta V, bitwise complement, the symbol you see over here, shift left, the beak points to the left, and shift right, the beak points to the right. What do you mean by this? The bitwise AND operator. Now say that you have an example wherein you have two integers, one is 12 and the other is 25. You have to perform the bitwise AND of 12 and 25. So first you will have to convert 12 in binary. So if you have referred to my previous video wherein I have spoken to you about bits and bytes, I told you that they have to be written in combinations of 8. So here let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 12 is represented in binary, 25 is also represented in binary. So you write them one below the other. This is your 12 and this is your 25. You perform bitwise from right to left. So move this way. So 0 and 1 is 0. The answer will be 1 only if both are 1. So once you have the answer, convert it back into decimal. So answer is 8. So you can write it in a C program in this manner and check whether you get the output as 8. So this was your bitwise AND. Moving on to bitwise OR. Same example, again 12 and 25 both are written in binary. The answer is going to be 1 if it is 0 or 1 is 1, 1 or 0 is 1, 1 or 1 is 1, but 0 or 0 is 0. So every time you get corresponding partners as 0 and 0, the answer will be 0. Rest everywhere it will be 1. So here you get your answer as 29. Next is the XOR. Now here the answer will be 1 every time you have the corresponding bits opposite. So if it is alike, it's going to be 0. If it is going to be dislike, that is 0, 1, then your answer will be 1. So here 12 is again written in binary and 25 is again written in binary. Corresponding partners are checked. If the corresponding partners are dislike, so this is 1 and this is 0, then answer will be 1. If the corresponding partners are alike, then the answer will be 0. So that's how we get the XOR operation. So you have to perform it in this manner. Next is bitwise complement, which is given with this symbol. But if it ever asks in the papers to compute the bitwise of a certain number, you directly can compute bitwise complement of any number n as, this is your shortcut, minus of n plus 1. But if you have to write a C code to compute the negate or the complement of any number, you may just use the complement symbol over here. So if you try to put this in this, you're finding the bitwise complement of 35. So 35 is n. So 35 plus 1 is 36. Answer is minus 36. Similarly here they find of minus 12. So minus 12 plus 1 is minus 11. Minus minus becomes plus. Next is shift operators in C programming. So you have a right shift operator and you have a left shift operator. Let's see what are they. Say for example, you have A is 5 and B is 9. A is shifted first to the left by 1. So when we do that, we get 10. How? You will see in the next slide. So assume A is 5. So here A is 5 and A shifted 1 to the left. So to represent 5, I represent it in binary. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a collection of 8 bits, right? Okay. So 5 is the addition of 4 and 1. This block represents 2 raised to 0, this represents 2 raised to 1, this represents 2 raised to 2. So this will be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Alright, so if you have to represent 5 in binary, this is decimal. If you have to represent 5 in binary, you'll have to make sure you get 5 with the addition of any of these numbers. So 4 and 1 will give you 5, so set 1 and 1 there, remaining all are zeros. So binary equivalent of 5 is this. You have to left shift it by 1. Left shifted by 1 is shifting this 1 to the left and shifting this 1 to the left, shifting this 1 to the left, shifting this 1 to the left. So now you will get the answer as, see wherever you have ones. 1 is here for 8 and the other one is here for 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10. So if you go back and see, A left shift 1 gave you the answer of 10. Now let's see B is 9 and B left shift by 2 says 36. Please remember, B is 9, B left shift by 2 gives us 36. Let's check. B is 9, so represent B first in binary. Representing B in binary, we'll have 1 here and we'll have 1 here. So let's check. Yes, 1, 1. So this is 9. Under 8 we'll have 1 and under 1 we'll have 1. So 8 plus 1 is 9. You have to left shift it by 2. So first shift it by 1. So this is what you will get when you left shift B, that is 9 by 1, and then left shift it once more. So whatever is here comes here. Or it could have also been left shifting these by 2, but I considered doing it 1 by 1. So now try to add this. This will be 6, this will be 32 and this will be 4. So 32 plus 4 will give you 36. So we have checked what we get for left shift. Now we'll try and perform a right shift. A is 5. So we write the original 5 here. Now we have to right shift it by 1. To right shift it by 1, whatever is there over here now moves this way. So this comes here, and mind you this falls out. So we don't have a track of it. So when you're doing left shift is okay, but when you're going to do a right shift, you have to be careful because the one towards the border here falls off. So the answer here will be, when you shift A by right shift 1, the answer will be just 2. Similarly, when you have 9 and you right shift it by 2, the answer will be 2. So let's check it. See over here, 2 and 2. So we have demonstrated left shift and right shift. Now these are the assignment operators. Equal to is an assignment operator, plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, divide equal to, modulo equal to. So these are called as the shorthand operators. You don't have to, now this can be read as C is equal to C plus A. Instead of writing that whole thing, it's written as C plus equal to A. So this is C equal to C minus A. So what is repeated 2 times just comes in once over here. So that is your assignment operator. Now ternary operator is called as a 3-way operator, and I told you in the beginning it deals with 3 operands. The first operand is going to be what is there over here, that is the condition. The second operator is going to be operand. This is going to be the operand. The second one it deals with is over here, this rectangle, and the third one it deals with is over here. So you can say condition is treated as one parameter, the block is treated as a second parameter, and the block 2 is treated as the third parameter. It deals with 3 parameters, therefore it is called as your ternary operator. So to write a code on ternary operator, there is a demo over here. We say a is equal to 10 and a is integer. So here I ask a question, is a equal to 1, and this is the question. So if it is true, it will pull up the first block, if it is false, it will pull up the second block. So in this case, a was 10 initially and in nowhere it is equal to 1, therefore it's going to pull up 30. So here you get the answer as 30. And then over here again it checks a equal to 10, which is true, so it pulls up the first block. So therefore you get C as 20. Whatever you wanted to throw the answer into, you have that as a parameter written to your left. So with that, I think I am done with a brief on operators.